entitled to take your place in the world on equal footing in every field and at the top of every field. But what I urge you to do is not just to take your place at the top of the world, but to change the world. At the moment, our society's notion of success is largely composed of two parts: money and power. In fact, success, money, and power have practically become synonymous. But it's time for a third metric beyond money and power, one founded on well-being, wisdom, our ability to wonder and to give back. In 2007, sleep-deprived and exhausted, I fainted, hit my head on my desk, broke my cheekbone, and got 4 stitches on my right eye. And that was the beginning of my reacquainting myself with sleep and with the need to redefine success, to include our own sense of well-being. Because even if sleep deprivation is not affecting your health, it's affecting your creativity, your productivity, and your decision-making. Our passion for our work does not give us immunity. In fact, on the contrary, it blinds us to the fact that we are burning out. It's a slow process. It's like putting the lobster in the water, and if you do it slowly, the lobster doesn't know it's about to die. So, burnout works until it doesn't. If we sacrifice our health in the course of attaining our ambitions at work, it's a really Pyrrhic victory, and we pay a very heavy price, and we look around at all the casualties. When we include well-being in our definition of success, another thing that changes is our relationship with time. Right now, we are all so stressed out about time that every time we look at our watch, it's later than we think. Researchers have a term for it, time famine. And Dr. Seuss wrote about it ahead of the researchers, of course. How did it get so late so soon, he wrote. It's night before it's afternoon. December is here before it's June. My goodness, how the time has flown. How did it get so late so soon? Does that feel familiar to anyone, or more likely to everyone? The problem is that as long as success is defined by just money and power, climbing and burnout, we will never have the time to be able to enjoy that other aspect of the third metric, wonder. If we don't redefine success, the personal price we pay will get higher and higher. There are 2 fundamental truths about human beings. The first truth is that we all have within us a centered place of wisdom, harmony, and strength. This is a truth that all the world's religions, whether Christianity, Islam, Judaism, or Buddhism, and many of its philosophies, hold true in one form or another. The kingdom of God is within. But the second truth is that we're all going to spend most of our lives not in that place. We keep veering away from that place again and again and again. We're living in an incredibly amazing, mysterious place. And we forget that when we shrink ourselves down to our to-do list. That's really, for me, the worst thing. If we completely identify ourselves with our jobs, however magnificent our jobs may mean, we are missing out the fullness and the grandeur of what a human being is. Money and power by themselves are like a 2-legged stool. You can't balance on them for a while, but eventually you're going to topple over. And more people, very successful people, are toppling over every day. Basically, success, the way we've defined it, is no longer sustainable. It's not sustainable for human beings. It's not sustainable for the planet. If you look around you, you see leaders in positions of power, in politics, in media, in business, all of them with high IQs, great degrees, making terrible decisions. What is missing is not IQ, but wisdom. And today it's getting harder and harder to tap into our own wisdom, because we are all so hyper-connected to our devices, our screens, our social media, that we're having a hard time disconnecting from technology and reconnecting with ourselves. We need to kind of have that real disconnect in order to reconnect and be recharged. And we all know that really the best things we bring to work are our creativity, our great ideas, our problem solving, our ability to collaborate, and these are the first things that are sacrificed when we are burnt out, right?
I know that when I'm like exhausted, it's as though everything is coming at me this way and I have to deal with it and I don't know where I'm looking and it's like an onslaught. And so this is like the key thing, that we need to disentangle the fact that most successful people we know, or perhaps every successful person we know, has worked around the clock, with the assumption, therefore, that that's the only way to succeed.
When we are in that centered place of wisdom, harmony, and strength, life is transformed from struggle to grace. And we are suddenly filled with trust, no matter how many setbacks, challenges, and disappointments we are facing. Because there is a purpose to life that is often hidden and that often makes sense only when we look back at our lives, not as we are experiencing it. And remember that while there will be many signposts along your path directing you to make money and climb up the ladder, there will be very few signposts reminding you to stay connected to the essence of who you are, to reach out, to pause to wonder, and to connect to that place from which everything is possible. My Greek compatriot Archimedes said, "Give me a place to stand and I can move the world." So find your place to stand, your place of wisdom and peace and strength. Remake the world in your own image and your own definition of success, so that all of us, women and men, can live our lives with more grace, more joy, more empathy, more gratitude, and yes, more love.